The way that we make culture change stick at BTS is focusing on getting the organization at scale doing the same thing to create a cultural tipping point.
Yeah, one of the ways we do that is an approach called sprints, where we have everyone in the organization or a certain part of the organization focused on one particular shift they're trying to make at the same time. And we work on the shifts that are going to have disproportionate impact on really creating that tipping point in changing the culture or the ways of working in the organization. And we use a very social way of doing it where everybody's working on that shift at the same time to create both a safe space but also peer accountability to actually make that movement. And we support leaders or individuals going through this with tools and support mechanisms at the same time.
One critical shift I think that comes up often when we do sprints or when we're thinking about which shifts have a disproportionate impact is decision making and the role of shifting decision making in signaling something's different in the organization. We had one client who was trying to execute against a aggressive 2030 strategy, which meant they had to move with much more speed than they ever had before. And they identified decision making as the biggest thing that was slowing them down in that process. So they really honed in on what were the problems where it was breaking down today, what was slowing them down in decision making, and actually worked on shifting some of those behaviors. At the same time, they looked at decision rights in the organization, how many decisions were having to be escalated. Could they push those decisions down in the organization? And then how are they actually holding people accountable for making those changes? So taking it to that micro level of detail actually had a macro impact because it was one of those disproportionate shifts.
Yeah, and we want to get very tangible when we do this. So another example of a client we worked with was they were trying to enable the organization to operate at pace, to be able to move quicker, make decisions faster, and take action faster as an organization. And of course, what we realized in looking into this is the majority of decisions are taken in meetings. The majority of discussions and ultimately action is taken in that setting. So if we're going to change how decisions are made, we actually have to change how meetings are run. And so what we did with them was very specific, tangible actions around who needs to be in certain meetings, how often do we need to have them, how do we actually run those meetings to make them more effective, and ultimately, how do we make decisions and then take action according